My name is Andrew Feinstein. I'm an author, a former ANC Member of Parliament from South Africa, and a member of the Labour Party. I grew up in apartheid South Africa. Many freedoms were curtailed, or for the majority of people in the country, stopped altogether. I had the enormous privilege and honour of serving as a Member of Parliament under Nelson Mandela. To me, as a Jew, the son of a Holocaust survivor, the way in which anti-Semitism has, in my opinion, been abused by the Labour Party to fight factional battles is of deep concern to me. What it has done in practice has been to close down any discussion of issues of racism generally, of issues of the Middle East, and one of the most pressing questions in the Middle East, which is the Palestinian question. Because to criticize Israel, to give support to the Palestinian people, to suggest that the occupation of Palestine is both brutal and illegal is, in the Labour Party at the moment, tantamount to being labelled anti-Semitic. My former boss would be unable to voice his unequivocal support for the Palestinian people and his criticisms, and they were harsh criticisms, of Israel in a Labour Party branch. Think about that for a moment. Nelson Mandela, perhaps the most emblematic anti-racist that the world has known, would be unable to talk about one of the most pressing issues in the world today in a Labour Party branch for fear of being labelled racist. That this is happening in a party that is now led by a human rights lawyer makes it seem even more surreal. Somebody trained in human rights law should be at the forefront of the struggle for all marginalized people in Britain and around the world. Instead, what we are seeing in Keir Starmer's Labour Party is the closing down of any space in which to express opinions, in which to voice concerns, in which to voice support for a previous leader of the party. But what is happening in the Labour Party has broader implications for British society as a whole. Because if we take the banning of speech of certain topics within the party into the broader society, the lack of accountability of our government, particularly of the executive arm of government, which is at an appallingly low level at the moment, while we see rampant corruption and incompetence around dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic, that is only going to get worse. We are going to allow the government carte blanche to do as it pleases and to close down the space for proper debate and discussion in our society. We are seeing it in the treatment of Julian Assange, someone who, whatever you might think of him personally, revealed information about the American and British government's appalling national security and military abuses in various parts of the world, is now being held in the most terrible circumstances while he is remanded. He has not been found guilty of anything, but he is treated as the worst sort of criminal. What this is doing, what the behaviour of the Labour Party is doing, is effectively enabling and facilitating the closing down of transparent, accountable democratic space in this country. As a member of the constituency Labour Party, represented by Keir Starmer as our Member of Parliament, I have no choice but to observe that since his arrival in the constituency, he has been a divisive figure. He has devoted far too much time to attempting to force the left wing of the constituency party out of the party. This is what he is now doing within the Labour Party nationally. We either need Keir Starmer to unite the Labour Party and be a force of unity within the diversity and breadth of opinion that exists within the party, or we need a new leader of the Labour Party to represent the interests of those people the party was founded to serve. Keir Starmer was elected on a platform of unifying the Labour Party. Since becoming leader, he has been a force for and a cause of deep, deep division. He has made many people, including many progressive Jews like myself, feel unwelcome in the party. This is unacceptable. We should be united as a party, not concerned with internal factional battles, but concerned about the myriad grave issues facing Britain and the British people today. Keir Starmer needs to show that he is a leader of all members of the Labour Party, or he has to question whether he is in fact in the correct party.